Hola guys, how are you? So before we start, first of all, like and subscribe. And then second thing, I've got this beautiful set from AYBL. I love the color and I love the little detail here. Very subtle and elegant. I love the band around your waist because it's very thick and I hate when it's like too thin and it kind of just makes your fupa come out. So this is just perfect for me, and also squat proof, which is really important to me. So perfect for leg day. The little sleeves have the little thumb hole as well. So in case you like wearing it that way, but I usually wear it without, and I could just roll the sleeve over as well. Wearing the size small and size small, both. I would say that both fit pretty true to size, very stretchy and soft material as well, very comfortable as well. I'll put the link in the description below in case you wanted to get any other sets. They've got so many different styles and so many different clothes as well. But anyway, let's get into the workout now. Okay, so I'm going to start first of all with some mobility stretches and dynamic stretches. I've showed you this in other videos as well, just because they're so important. And guys, honestly, you think you want to skip these until something like an injury or something affects you. Because until a few months ago, I used to be okay and I think, oh, you know, I just don't really need to do any mobility stretches until I hurt my hips. And this is because they got stiffer and stiffer as I was lifting. So it's really important to do dynamic stretches at the beginning to make sure you work on your main joints that you'll be working on later, okay? So very, very easy, it doesn't have to be anything complicated. I just work on my hip mobility first, okay? So I just like to place a leg facing that direction and shift my body weight to the side, okay? Nice and simple. I hold for 3 seconds. Then I come back and I'll repeat this around 3 to 4 times per each leg, okay? So same thing on the other side. Okay, you really feel a bit of, so you'll feel this stretching basically. If it hurts you or anything, make sure you bring the foot a little bit closer as it'll feel much easier, okay? So that is what I'll do for my hips, and then for my ankles, I'll grab a plate. Let me just grab a plate just very quickly. A kg plate, and I will hold it this way and then shift my body weight to make sure that your feet are planted on the floor the whole time. For one side, hold again for 3 seconds, return, and then do the second thing. You feel a sort of stretch around your calves as well, okay? So again, you would do this, I will do this 3 to 4 times and I would hold for 3 to 4 seconds as well, okay? So just really nice and easy. Important for your ankle mobility, which will help you with depth for some of the exercises, squats for example, lunges and things like that, very important. Right, straight away now, after I do this, I would move on to my warm-up. You guys know my warm-up, usually just place a resistance band around my knees. I actually forgot it this time. So, and I usually just start with some bihydrants, targeting my gluteus medius and minimus, okay, straight away. Bringing the leg all the way up. Again, warm-ups, they don't need to include much weight. You're just trying to activate your glutes. And that is optional as well, because not everyone needs to warm up really, okay? I just like to do it myself because I've always done it and it just works for me. Okay, other side as well. So I would do 20 on each leg. Normally the only thing I would just wear a resistance band just above my knees, and then supersetting it with some hip thrusts. 20, I could pulsate as well. 1, 2, 1, 2, and I would do 20 reps of this, okay? Remember, when you're warming up, you don't want to exhaust your muscles. You don't want to lift heavy and you don't want to do too much volume. Just because if you exhaust your muscles during your warm-up, then you won't be able to actually use your muscles for your actual main compound lifts, okay? So it's important, if you want to warm up, sometimes if you want to skip it, that's fine. If you want to warm up, don't do too much of it, okay? Now let's move on to the main exercises. First exercise that I normally start with is the kickback on the Smith machine. I used to do it until like a few months ago, and then I stopped for some reason, just because it used to hurt my knees. And the reason why that was happening, and I'm going to show you what you don't need to do in order not to get your knees, is to lock at the top. Sometimes I used to pack on a lot of weight here, and then I used to lock at the top, okay? So you don't want to put on a lot of weight for these exercises, for this kind of exercise, just because it doesn't require a lot of weight and you'll activate your glutes as much. So what I like to do, I like to place 2 mats here, okay, just for comfort, just because otherwise you'll hurt your knees when you're like kneeling down, okay? And then I like to use a bench, just in case if I slide off, I know that I've got this that will stop me from sliding off, okay? Again, I just start with 5 kilos, 10 kilos overall. And what I like to do, I never go all the way down. So I'll just show you what I mean. Okay? So this is how far I go, okay? I don't go all the way down, just because I feel like if I go all the way down, it will target my quads more, okay? So I'll do 20 reps each leg. Usually as I progress, I add 2.5 and then another 2.5, so my maximum weight will be 20 kilos, okay, for this exercise. And I will do 3 to 4 sets, starting with 20 reps, and then I go down to 15 and 10 reps, okay? And that will help you activate the bottom area of your glutes. On to the next workout exercise, actually. Okay, so one of my main compound exercises is the squat. As I said before, and I mentioned previously in the video, my hips got a little bit stiffer, so I need to be careful. What I'll do now, that's why at the moment I'm just preferring box squats. They're just as good for my glutes and all, and anyway, I feel like they target my glutes a little bit more anyway. So very nice and simple. Again, work out your stance, whether you prefer a narrow stance or a wider stance. Usually for those people that suffer from hip problems, I don't really have hip problems, I'm really being dramatic, but I mean, normally I would prefer a wider stance because it feels better for your hips, okay? And again, if you're someone that has lower back problems instead, I would try and keep my chest up as much as possible rather than leaning forward too much, because the more you lean forward, the more you'll target your lower back. So just try and keep the chest as high as possible, okay? So that you can target more your quads and glutes, okay? So, it's very nice and simple. I prefer a high bar squat. That's what works for me. And also safer for my hips. So you want to lightly touch the bench. Again, you don't want to sit back, otherwise you'll add a lot of pressure to your spine. So you want to maintain a sat position, basically. Keep your chest up, lightly touch the bench, and up. Okay. Usually I pack on more weight for every single set. I usually do 4 sets as well. So I'm going to add more weight. One thing that I wanted to quickly touch on is the belt, okay? Because you guys have seen me wearing a belt, especially if you've watched my previous YouTube videos, you know that I used to wear a belt. However, I will only recommend, because I know that you guys always ask me, oh, should I get a belt as well? Belts are only used when you're going really, really heavy. If you have lower back problems, the belt is not going to save you for that. It's not a magical tool or anything, okay? It's there to just support your back a little bit more, but I wouldn't use it unless you're going really, really heavy. I think you should really work on your core stability and using a technique that will help you stabilize your core. So if you breathe correctly, for example, you won't even need a belt, and it will also help you with your lower back problem, so you won't need a belt anyway. The way you breathe correctly is by using a diaphragmatic breathing. So you want to breathe in as much as air possible at the beginning. Hold your breath, okay, until you go down. Obviously, I can't hold my breath while I'm talking. And then exhale when you come up, okay? So with your diaphragm, okay, so you want to fill this area of your stomach. Because what happens is when you fill your midsection with air, it will help you support your lifts even more. And you feel like you got more balance for a starter, you feel stronger as well, okay? And you won't even need a belt. What happens when you wear a belt, for example, is that your core will be deactivated. If you start wearing a belt too much, even when you're not going too light, you'll tend to disengage your core a lot, and that can become dangerous, okay? So do not wear a belt if you don't have to, okay? And then exhale now. Breathe in again. That will help me stabilize myself and get stronger and much more stable with my squats. Use my mats as well. So I always like to finish off with some abduction machine, with the abduction machine, just because it's really good for the TFL, and it's also good to strengthen that muscle. We don't want to neglect any parts, any muscles around our glute area, just because it'll help you get stronger and also help you prevent any injuries, okay? So what I'll do for the abduction machine, I normally just do 4 sets or 3 sets, depending on how heavy and on the volume that I did before in terms of the weight as well, okay? Just because I did much lighter before, I feel like I'm gonna do 4 sets this time because the hip thrusts that I did were much lighter, okay? So nice and simple. I don't want to lean forward all the way down, just because you'll see that my spine will be overextended. So I just like to slightly lean forward, okay? So rather than just sitting back like this, I just slightly lean forward and open all the way, okay? Hold a little bit and then slowly come back to the initial position, okay? And then again. Okay, so the next exercise is going to target our side booty, aka gluteus medius and minimus. I would normally use my personal ankle strap that you guys see me wearing it all the time in all my videos, but today it's a Sunday, guys, and I just forgot it. I forgot my resistance bands and I forgot my gym bag in general, so it's okay, I haven't got it. So I'm going to improvise and use this. It's not ideal. I would recommend using a proper ankle strap, but what can we do? We need to improvise. Okay. So just very nice and simple, just kick to the side. As you can see, it's just very uncomfortable. You shouldn't really be using this, but what can we do? Slightly, as you can see, I'm leaning forward slightly, just kicking to the side. Yes. Oh, let's say you always do this. Okay, guys, it's time to stretch now. We stretch at the beginning, we do dynamic stretches, and at the end we do static stretches. Never do static stretches at the beginning, I'm telling you, because I'll come and get you, okay? Really dangerous as well. So, really nice and simple. Leg in front, we're gonna do the pigeon pose. Ow, I can really feel this one. Then you lean, and you hold for 30 seconds on each leg, okay? You wanna do about this like 3 times. It's really nice and simple. Oh, it feels unreal after a good leg session as well. Can't tell you how good it feels. Okay, next leg as well. Oh. Why is it called the pigeon pose? Like, I've never seen a pigeon doing this. If anyone knows, let me know. Any yoga experts. My personal favorite glute stretch is this one, just because I just can proper feel it and it's unreal. It's quite easy as well. Just really want to pull your leg towards you. This 30 seconds. Okay, and then a quick hip one because of my hips at the moment. So gotta work on those hips. So it's called the frog pose, really awkward. Don't make eye contact if you're doing this. This can move a bit backward as well. Proper feel this one. Okay, and then I'll do like a quick hamstring as well. Just very quickly, so just try to reach out past my toes because my flexibility is literally non-existent. And that's it for me. I hope you enjoyed the video and you learned a little bit more from me. By the way, in this video I tried to like talk a little bit less because I know that you guys in my previous videos have said that I talk a little bit too much, just because I get passionate about fitness and I want to explain loads of stuff to you. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you're looking, by the way, for a personalized workout to you, because everyone is different, and you get both a workout plan and a meal plan, link in the description below for all my online coaching and plans. But yeah, anyway, thank you very, very much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe as always, and hopefully I will see you next time with another video. Peace out. Okay.